Well, this is one I've been wanting to do since I guess Wood came out, or at least they revealed. Actually, since they revealed Rosie was going to be red, I was hoping we would get a Thomas Wooden Railway version of her. But unfortunately, we'll have to deal with Wood for now. So, welcome back to another Thomas Wood versus Thomas Wooden Railway review. Without further ado, let's cue the intro. So, I've been wanting to do a video on the red Rosie versus pink Rosie since Rosie was announced that she was getting this new red livery. Excuse me. There was never a Thomas Wooden Railway version, so I couldn't compare this livery to that livery. Now there's a Wood version, so we can compare the simplified Wood engines to this original season 10 era Rosie whenever she first came out. Pre-2006 maybe? 2005-ish? I have absolutely no idea. So we're going to start out with the face. Now, obviously on this original Rosie, it's based off the model series. This is based off CGI Rosie. But both have extremely large pupils. I mean, that's like, wow. But this Rosie is, for some reason, looking down, and this one is correctly looking straight ahead. Now, neither of these engines have headlamps. Obviously, no Wood engine, not even Victor, not even Nia, have headlamps. But this was made before Rosie got her headlamp in like season 17, 18-ish. And so that's why she doesn't have one. So going to the back, you can see where is this on the Wood Rosie. So, and it's kind of a shame when you start to compare the Wood engines to the Wooden Railway engines, you see just how much of a downgrade, even though they are fully painted, it's still a big downgrade. You can see, although I do like the textured coal, the painted texture coal. Actually, I do think this has a texture, slight texture, to this just black blob. Obviously there's that, this top part of her cab, maybe it's for super tall people. I really don't know what that's for. Someone in the comments could probably explain to me what that is, but it's completely missing from the Wood Rosie. That's a bit of a shame. All the domes are missing, you know. It's just a little bit, I don't really think it would be that hard. They both even have the whistle detailing, which is quite amazing if you ask me, that they both have whistle detailing. Even in 2005, they weren't really doing whistle detailing. So we can see it slopes down, that she has that little sloping tank instead of just a wood black blob. Interestingly, though, she has all this gold painting and the steps. Even the steps, like the Wooden Railway version didn't have steps, but it didn't really need the steps. It looks perfectly fine without the steps, if you ask me. It has the piston detailing, which is here as well. It has that little black splotch above her running board, which is there as well. Rosie's running board is much thicker, and the Wood Rosie's running board is much thicker. It also has red buffers. Those don't look very great. If they were black, they'd be much better. The colors of the wheels are much, much different. But I don't think Rosie's wheel color actually changed. I could be completely wrong about that, but I don't. To me, I mean, colors to me aren't the greatest. I'm not colorblind, but some colors you just like black and navy blue, they're just the same. So that doesn't bother me. These wheels, sheesh, in the show you can tell that they're different, but in the show I really don't think they changed. I don't think they changed. So obviously now we're looking at Wood Rosie, the red versus the lavender. That's what I really came here to compare, and not just the size, because let's compare the size first. So you can just see how much longer Rosie, the Wooden Railway Rosie, is compared to Wood Rosie. Their cabs are the same length, but this whole portion, her boiler is all squashed. Her chassis is also, I never noticed this, but the chassis, they're really close together, and they also don't meet the end of the running board like they would on a wooden railway. Actually, they don't on a wooden railway model. The magnets are much smaller, and they actually have much more of an overhang. I thought that was the exact opposite. My apologies. They cut down the overhang. Quite the shame. The faces we talked about. The funnels are a little bit different. It doesn't bother me really, though. What does bother me is just how far back Rosie's face is. Look at that. Comparatively, her smoke box. This is quite thinner. A lot thinner. And then that, you can see just how much farther Rosie's face sits back there, front to front right now. And she has quite an overhang, which she didn't have on the original. But this is technically more accurate, but she's so squashed down. It does. Her face looks like Rosie, but the rest of her does not look like Rosie. Now that I'm comparing that, when you compare them, it's very obvious that Wooden Railway is still much, much better. But all in all, on its own, it's a good toy. On its own, this is still a quality product. But it's just, it shouldn't be what Thomas... This should not be the standard of Thomas toys. This should be the standard of Thomas toys. I got a really, really nice comment from a mother, and I'll post it here. I think I can post a screenshot here of it. And it was so nice to hear a parent say, why did they get rid of Wooden Railway? This mother was obviously willing to spend the money for Wooden Railway. Money, if you want a quality product, you're going to spend the money for it. So there's absolutely no reason why Rosie is not... there's no reason why Thomas Wood should be a thing. Wooden Railway should still be around. We should have a red Rosie that's like this shape. We should have a Thomas that's about this size. We should have a Yongbao that's the size of Big City Engine. We should have a Merlin who's the size of Big City Engine. Anyways, we'll be getting into more. I'll be reviewing Nia next week, I think. And then the week after that, I'm not sure because I have not bought any more wood engines yet. Planning on buying Thomas or Percy next week. Maybe I'll get James or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But definitely going to get more of these because I've been really enjoying talking about this and just comparing, because we can obviously see that Wooden Railway, or the wooden trains in general, have mostly gone up in quality since, but except for Thomas Wood, or except for Thomas Wood and Railway with Mattel. Thomas Wood here now, very large dip, then rise up again. Like many have said before, and I will repeat, they're listening, which is half the battle. Excuse me, I've been talking for so long. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit here. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, and I shall talk about more about Thomas Wood next week. So if you haven't noticed, now obviously this video came out on Friday, that every Friday is going to be another episode of Thomas Wood versus Thomas Wood and Railway. So hopefully I'll have a backlog by the time we get closer, because I've spent a lot of money already and it's only January. So we'll see. I'll probably have it up for about a month, like maybe 2 or 3 months. I'll definitely be getting a lot of the new engines, which I'll be comparing to original Thomas Wood and Railway engines and how they would look. But yeah. So I'll see you next week when I talk about Nia, and I'll be comparing her to engines like Whiff and Thomas, and we'll go from there. We'll see. Maybe the week after it'll be Thomas, maybe it'll be Percy, maybe it'll be Merlin, maybe it'll be Harvey or Ashima. Let me know in the comments what engine I should get next. So obviously Nia's coming out the week after this, and then so in 2 weeks, let me know what engine I should buy for my review coming out in 2 weeks. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to me rambling. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all, and goodbye.